Hi, I'm Arslan, and I've added over 100 cars to the Turo platform here in Denver, Colorado. So naturally, I have experienced a lot of private party purchases and gone through the process countless times. And I use Facebook as a resource for a lot of those purchases. So today I want to show you exactly how I utilize Facebook to find cars that I want to add to my fleet. So the first thing that you're going to do is jump on Facebook, go to the marketplace section, and click on vehicles. Now you're gonna get hit with an onslaught of vehicles right off the bat, but I'm gonna show you how we're gonna go and filter vehicles so that we can find the best vehicle to purchase for Turo, or if you're getting a car for private personal use, then that is something you can apply as well. So first of all, I want to filter out any dealership, or as many as I possibly can, and instead just go for individuals. I've noticed that I am getting a lot better deals if I buy from an individual instead of a dealership. Now, some dealerships will list their cars as if they're selling as an individual. So just be wary of who you're buying a car from. But as you scroll through, you can probably just see based on these photos that a lot of them are just cars in front of houses or just in parking lots or things of that nature. It does do a good job of at least getting you closer to what you're looking for. Then we're gonna look in your budget range, right? So if you are buying a car for Turo and you're trying to maximize ROI, you might be looking for a more budget-friendly car. However, I'm just gonna use a budget of $20,000 to make my search and make my filters. And then on Turo, you need to have a car that is 12 years old or newer to be added to the Turo platform. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's go with 2013 and newer. Then the mileage, so the max mileage that Turo actually allows is going to be 130,000 miles. Although I like to be on the lower end and try to go for at least under 100,000 miles, because that way you're gonna have a longer shelf life on the platform, and you're probably gonna avoid some of the issues that a higher mileage car is gonna come with. So I'm just gonna go here and put 100,000. And so that'll filter to cars 100,000 miles or lower. Then what I like to do is, I don't wanna search specifically for an individual car like a Honda CR-V or Toyota Tacoma. I want to search for reliable brands and then find cars that are in a good price range and will work well on the Turo platform. So we're gonna go with a reliable brand. Let's just go with Toyota, because I know those cars typically perform pretty well here in Denver. They're pretty sought after and they're incredibly reliable cars. So I'll go ahead and select that. And then what we'll do is go with the body style. In Denver, we typically want SUVs. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select SUV. And now we are going to be as filtered down as possible. So now that that's filtered, we are only seeing cars that are within our price range, have the mileage that we want, and are in the year span that we want to see. As I'm looking here, this $2,000 2015 Toyota Highlander is 100% not real. So don't get confused by these scams that are possibly out there. However, as I'm looking, I like the idea of a Toyota Highlander because that's a 3-row car. And then actually these RAV4s perform pretty decently. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open up these RAV4s as well and see what we got. So to start with this Toyota Highlander, what I'm gonna do right off the bat is go straight to the seller's profile. And it looks like he is not someone you wanna buy from. And it also looks like he's a dealer because of how many cars are listed. So I'm gonna rule him out. And the best way to do that is actually just hide the listing so that you never have to deal with it again. So that leaves us with a few more cars. Let's go here, see what the deal is with him. And we've got another car dealer. Same thing, I want to hide the listing and rule him out. And then on this one, we have this seller who looks a bit more legit, although if we scroll down, nope, looks like she is also a car dealer, which I don't want to work with that either. And so I'm going to rule her out. And then coming to this last one, we've got the same exact individual. And again, I don't want to see her cars. It looks like maybe we were shooting a bit too narrowly and couldn't find a car that we want. It's likely due to us wanting a car with a somewhat newer vehicle with only 100,000 miles on it might be a bit of a stretch. So let's go to the 130,000 mile range and see what changes happen here. So if we do that, then there's some other vehicles that are going to pop up, and we're not going to see those vehicles that we had at the start because I've hidden those listings. So now I'm going to do a command and a click, and it's going to open up any vehicle that I want to see into a separate tab. So command click, and you can't see this right now, but there's separate tabs opening up on my desktop. And so hopefully one of these will apply. Mary, she has a 1 terrible rating, so I'm not loving the idea of that. Then we have Brandon. Looks like he just works on cars, and it says his grandfather took over the payment and it's now paid off. Title in hand, clean title. So that seems like something that we'd like. And it says it has 130,000 miles. So let's just check if he has a picture of the odometer and to see if it is actually over 130,000 miles. So he actually doesn't. We're going to go ahead and contact this individual anyway, just so I can show you an example of what I would be sending. So right here, this is my template of what I'm going to be sending to him, although I do need to figure out what I would be wanting to pay for it. So let's go ahead and plug this into Kelley Blue Book and just see what value it will come up with. So 2016 Toyota RAV4 LE Sport Utility 4-door. So we'll go and click LE Sport Utility, click next, and then we'll go ahead and just price it with standard equipment, and it's a black vehicle. It'll ask you questions as if it's your own vehicle. So just say selling your car, next, and then let's go ahead and mark it as good condition. And then it'll ask you a few more questions and just try to bypass everything you can. And right here, you're gonna start with seeing the trade-in value for the vehicle. But what we want is we want the private party value. So it looks like the typical private party range is $11,000 to $13,000, with $12,000 being the typical purchase price. I would want to purchase this vehicle closer to the $11,000 range. So I'll make that what I kind of offer him in the message. Now, what I expect is that a lot of times I'm going to come on here, do this entire process, and I'm not going to find a car when I sit down to do this. Now, that's because you do have to be pretty diligent about searching on Facebook for good deals. They're not just sitting there all the time for you to purchase. Otherwise, it would just be super easy and everybody be getting a great deal. What you do have to do though is shoot your shot. So even though this guy has it marked pretty well above what we want to purchase it for, I'm going to go ahead and send him this message anyway. So his name is Brandon. So I'm going to say, hey Brandon, the car looks amazing. Been looking for one just like it for the last couple of weeks. Do you happen to have the Carfax report? If it all checks out, I'd be happy to offer you $11,000 for it. Now, 9 times out of 10, what's going to happen is he'll come back and say, nope, that doesn't work for me, because I am lowballing him quite a bit. But a lot of times they'll come back and say, hey, I can't go that low, but I could do this. And if the price they give you is something that you're willing to move forward with, then jump on a FaceTime with them, see what the car looks like before going in person. And then if it all looks good, then great, get out there in person, check out the car, give it a test drive, and then bring it for a pre-purchase inspection. Now, make sure that every step along the way, you're negotiating the price. So when you first get out there to see the car, look at it, make sure the windows roll down, see if you can find anything that's negotiable. Dent in the car, scratches you weren't expecting, and then get the price down a little bit more. Then when it goes to the pre-purchase inspection, that mechanic will come back with a list of issues, unless the car is completely clean, which is super rare with private party cars, and then use that to drop their price even more. And once you've gone through all of those routes of negotiation, that's when you're going to have a well-priced car to purchase and put onto your fleet. So I hope all of that was very helpful for you, and you learned a bit more about how to purchase a car off of Facebook for a good price. If you have any questions or want further clarification on any more of the process, please leave a comment or message me, and I will do my best to answer anything that you got for me.